Hey guys, welcome back to the Touchline Podcast, brought to you by the Outliers. Before we get into the video, if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment down below. And yeah, boys, it's been a while.
Yeah,
it has been a while.
It's
I think 2 weeks was our last podcast.
No, it was 1 week.
Well, yeah, last week we didn't. Yeah, so 2 weeks was
exactly
the last
yeah,
one we
Yeah,
recorded.
it's because there hasn't been any vlogs lately.
Yeah.
That's why
Out of
our
state
channel
games.
is just the podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be back,
on
next
now.
week with the Bulldogs and Eels game. But there's been a lot of news, especially with the Bulldogs, which we'll delve deep into today's show. But first of all, let's recap the round that was, which was round 12.
We'll talk about two games. First of all, we'll talk about Bulldogs and Dolphins. What are your thoughts on that, Anthony?
Look, it is what it is. Big defeat, man. 44-8. Especially injuries, suspensions, everything's all happened like in the club and that. But look, it happens for a reason. The performance, it wasn't enough. I thought we should have played better than that. And usually, like we first half we always like play a bit slow, but then second half we start bouncing back. But I didn't see anything of that. Dolphins actually took control. They played very, very well. But Bulldogs had too many errors, too many mistakes. Their structure wasn't even that good. Even with Jack Turbin's try, they disallowed it because it was a forward pass.
Yeah.
I think it was a flat pass, to be honest. So I think that should have been a try.
It changed the momentum of the
Yeah,
game.
it should have changed the momentum a bit. But if that did happen and it helped, it would have changed in the second half. We would have won that game. But we can't say anything. We have to move on and like fix up the mistakes and move on to the next game. Like I know we got the bye round, which is really good for us. But we got Parramatta next week, man. We need to fix it up because we got our suspension players that were coming back. Satili Tupanua, Jacob Preston's going to be returning as well. Matt Burton, he actually got caught up for Origin as well, but I think he will be playing definitely. Look, it happens, but we just got to move on.
Yeah. Again, on that, it was like I wasn't really angry, wasn't frustrated. It was like one of those games where we just didn't turn up. The weather was bad, but again, it was raining for both teams. Dolphins did step up massively. Like, we still had some decent plays. We still had our spine. And I don't know, we just didn't click that day. And I don't know if that's probably because of the news that was eventually going to open up with Sexton, Mahoney. So that could have been on the players' mind because Sexton and Mahoney didn't have the best game on that night. But yeah, we're still first on the table. It's been a great season so far. And yeah, it's just one of those nights and we'll bounce back against the
with the Dolphins, man, have been performing against the big teams. They won Melbourne, was a Panthers, and now Bulldogs. So they've been performing well. Herbie Farnworth, man, he's possibly the best centre right now in the competition. I like what Dolphins have done with the team they have, the structure. Like Katoa's been performing. They've got a good defensive, well, not defensive, but a good forward pack that's been working in the last recent weeks. But with the Dogs, you've explained it well. I just think we haven't. Just defensively, I think we've been poor in recent weeks. We've conceded 20-plus points in the last 4 to 5 weeks. Ever since that Broncos defeat, our defense have just crumbled. So I think before we have this bye, we need to just focus on our defense, improve on that, and just, move on to the next week.
Yeah, I feel like the rain just affected us that game. Our defense was not up to par. It wasn't like the Bulldogs that we usually play. Yeah. And I feel like Dolphins took that to their advantage and they started scoring points and it led to more points and then more points. And then next thing you know, it was 44.
Yeah, they scored in, I don't know, 5 tries
in the last
10 minutes.
Yeah.
You can say a lot of excuses. You could say it was the wet weather. You could say it was the players were out. But yeah, even Serrato said there's no excuses.
No excuses. Let's talk about the last game. We'll talk about Para and Manly. Now that was first half was a very, I'd say a tight game. I think both teams were in it. I still think Para were a better team. Just Manly, even though the first half performance was very tight contest, I just didn't see the urgency from Manly. I think they were just, I don't know, there wasn't enough energy. Players lacked certain things. They lacked spark. Like they missed certain players. Like Turbo wasn't performing. Like he's the player when things are not going right. He's supposed to be that shining light that can help him get over the line. But Parramatta, man, they're really clicking into a team Raz wants them to be. Without Moses, without Lomax, they've been performing well. Yongi has been performing well. He's been a very good fullback coming up. Dylan Walker has been sensational since joining the club. He's a great ball playing lock, and I think that's what they've been missing. And with Parramatta and with Moses and Lomax coming back possibly next week, They just have to keep on winning and keep on playing that same structure and same style. And I think Para can at least maybe get in a high position towards the end of the year. And it's good signs for them.
It's taken the Eels quite a while to get their rhythm going. But once Moses came in against the Knights, I think, it was the Sharks in Magic Round. It just started to change for them. You can see there's some style. And now the Eels fans can say that, we back this coach and we can see what he's implementing now. And again, Eels look like the better team against Manly. Like, it shows the scoreboard 30 points to 10. The way they're playing, there's urgency, there's pride in what they're doing. And even when Eels were losing, there was still some passion and they were just digging in. And that's what us Bulldogs, when we were bad, we had those performances where we just dug in. So, Eels, it's a very important win. Again, they face the Bulldogs next week. So if they can beat the Bulldogs, hopefully not, it's going to, boost their season because they're only like 2 points away from the 8.
Yeah, the only concern with Parramatta is Dylan Brown. His performances, I've been speaking to a few Para fans, they're not happy with the way he's performing. It's just, I think his focus he's on Newcastle. Don't think he's happy at the club. Like, he's probably had one good performance all year. So I think just drop him and I think focus on Dean Hawkins for a bit for the entire season.
Because he stepped up.
Stepped up. He wants to be there. Dylan Brown doesn't look like he wants to be there. But yeah, it hasn't been the best. And especially when you're going to a club like Knights with the contract you're getting, you need to prove that you're worth that. And he's not showing that, which he needs to fix ASAP.
Yeah, but with that game, Manly made a lot of errors, conceded a lot of penalties. Para picked up on it. And then I feel like with Para, in that game specifically, every time there was an opportunity, they seized it. They created something out of it, whether it was a try or drop out or whatever it was. It's just they really played everything to their advantage, and look, it ended up getting a win for them at the end. Even a few, what was it, Papali, our boy, ended up scoring. Samrani, ended up scoring. Or even the young guns stepped up.
Jack Williams, young
players,
good. Like you said, are stepping up.
So it's a good step forward for the Eels, and Manly it's inconsistent for them.
Let's move on to the round 13 tips. Our special guest is Christian, Little Roosters fan. He's always there at the Chook Pen with the boys, and he's the future of the Chook Pen. So shout out to him, and let's get into the tips. First game, Dragons and Knights. First of all, he's going for Dragons. I'm going for Dragons. I think Knights with a good performance against Panthers. But I just feel Dragons, man, they cannot lose, man. Like, a big win against Broncos, and if they lose to Knights, I don't know what to say about Dragons anymore. Like, honestly, they need a win.
Yeah, I'm going Dragons too.
Dragons?
Yeah. I think, again, the problem with Dragons, whenever they get a big win, they always lose. So I'm going Dragons, but, I'm very worried that Knights will probably get the win. But I'll go Dragons.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Dragons too.
Okay, next game, Storm and Titans. This one, I've got a funny feeling Titans will win this, but I'm staying safe because it's a big risk if I go Titans, but I'm going Storm.
Yes, I'm going Storm too.
Yeah, Storm as well.
Storm, and Christian's going Storm. Next game, we've got Cowboys and Tigers. I'm going to go Cowboys. Cowboys, they haven't won in 3 games. They had a draw in that. I just feel they need a win. And Tigers, Galvin leaving, I think there's a few issues at the club right now.
Yeah.
It's going to derail them.
With Galvin leaving, it might be a bit of fresh air. They might feel, okay, we've got him out of the club, we can just focus.
Yeah.
I've always been on the Tigers bandwagon. This year I've been tipping them a lot, but this is the week I'll probably tip Cowboys.
Oh, I'm going to go Tigers, sorry. Cowboys are a good team, but they fell back a bit 3 weeks in a row, like how you mentioned, Shabil, especially with that draw against Penrith a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was one of the best games.
It was 30-30.
Yeah, it was 30-30.
Yeah.
So Tigers are due for a win, so I think Tigers will get it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Put me Tigers.
Tigers and Christian's going Tigers as well. Next game, Manly and Broncos. Now, at first I was going Manly because I thought Turbo was playing, but now he's injured.
Yeah.
So I think both teams are in need of a win. I think Broncos need more. Only one win in I'm pretty sure 6 games or 5. So I'm going to go Broncos away.
I'm going to go with Manly.
All right,
Manly, they didn't play the best against Parramatta Eels, but I think they'll bounce back in their home game. With Brisbane, look, they're a strong team, bro. Look, you've seen it all the last few weeks. They're playing very exceptional, but I think they're going to due for a loss. So I think
they've lost 3 games in a row.
Who?
The Broncos.
Yeah, obviously I know, but I'm saying I'm sticking with Manly.
Okay,
I'll go Broncos.
Yeah, I'm going to put me Bronx.
Broncos, and Christian is going Broncos. Next game, Rabbitohs Warriors.
Up the Waz. I'm going to go Waz.
The Waz?
Yeah, Warriors.
I'm going Warriors.
Put me Rabbitohs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rabbitohs, and Christian is going for the Waz. Panthers, Eels.
I'm going to go Parramatta Eels.
Parramatta Eels?
Yeah, after their win against Manly, I think they're gonna go for another win.
And
again.
they do get Moses back and Lomax, but I think Panthers will get their whole team back.
Whole
And
squad, yeah.
and we've got to remember that Panthers had no one that game. Even Papali, who was not in Origin, wasn't there. So they were missing all their players, and I think Panthers will get the win.
I'm going Panthers. Yeah, but their record at Combank, I don't even think they've won at
Against the
Combank
Eels this year.
this year.
Maybe
I'm not
not, yeah.
sure. I don't think they have. Yeah, well, they lost on that, so it makes sense. But I can't go against Panthers still.
Yeah, well, I think I am going to go against Panthers.
Okay, Eels.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like they just played great last week.
Okay. Christian's going Panthers. Last game, Roosters and Raiders.
I'm going to go Raiders. Again, Raiders are just another level this year.
Yeah.
I think Roosters have been much better. Like the way they're playing now, they almost beat us. They're on a form. But I think Raiders will be too good for them. So I'll go Raiders.
I'm gonna go Roosters. Yeah, they've been very good last 4 weeks. 3 wins out of 4. Dogs, they were very unlucky not to get the win,
Yeah.
which I think we were very lucky to get that 2 points. I think Roosters at home, the fans are going to be up for it. It'll be a tough contest. I think Roosters by like something like 2 points.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Roosters as well.
Okay.
So Roosters will be good for me.
Bill.
Yeah, put me Raiders.
Okay, Raiders and
Yeah.
Christian is going Roosters. All right, State of Origin time, boys. Let's get it underway. The lineups are out. You happy with the lineup?
To be honest, look, it's pretty decent, I would say. But I'm just worried about Critter because about his injury, bro. Like after what happened during the training session, apparently the social media and the mainstream media are saying that he could be ruled out of the Origin 1.
Well, it looks like he's cleared.
Hopefully
they're
he
still
is.
keeping an eye on him for tomorrow. So again, if you can't make it, then Campbell Grain comes in, which means Burden goes to the 18th man.
Yeah.
Again, yeah. So, but which is good. We got the
Yeah.
bye, so it doesn't affect us. But yeah, with the Origin, I think we've got a strong team. That's probably the best lineup you can put out there. Queensland got a solid team as well with Robert Toya coming in his debut. At such a young age, only playing 10 NRL games. So it's Origin, man. Like it doesn't matter how good of a team you got. It just depends who shows up on the day. It's at Suncorp. Queensland will probably have the the advantage, but I think Blues with the force we got our backs with Lomax and Mitchell and Crichton, like it's crazy. Cleary, Moses, so it should be a Blues win. And Payne Haas is carrying a little of an injury, but he should be good. And I'm a bit scared because these players are just making it into the squad. Could be a bit, we could be hesitant with that because Paynas could easily probably get injured. Stephen Crichton could probably pull up with an injury. So we've got to be very careful with that, especially because they've been holding these injuries for a while. But yeah, I think we'll get the win. And yeah, especially because by this comes out, Origin's probably already started. So yeah, I'll go Blues.
With as we all know, May's not in the squad. And for me, I was very adamant that he would be in the squad with the performances. Look, me and Sam have watched Tigers game a lot this year. I've been very interested the way they play with the new signings, and I honestly thought with the performances he was making and the offloads and the meters he was doing, he'd play 80 minutes and it was on the Matty John show. It's because he does marathons and that, so that's why he's fair and he can play a 80-minute performance. And I feel with Origin, I think you need those sort of players that can play the 80 minutes because it's such a tough physical game, and I think May can handle it. Yes, he's probably got things to improve on, and maybe that's why he hasn't got selected. But I still think he should have made the squad at least. Somehow they could have fit him. Mitchell Barnett has been exceptional and he deserves to be there as well. But I don't know, May, with him not being selected, possibly game 2 or game 3, he might get a run. But do you feel he should have got selected, or it's fair decision that he's not in the squad?
Yeah, it's a bit of fifth. Yeah and no. He's been playing great all year, and I don't think he's been robbed necessarily. But I feel like if he was there, I wouldn't have been angry about it. So I'm in between about it. I feel like with Max King there, it might be a better pick because if you look at Max King's stats, he's up to par with Payne Haas. To be honest, he's matching it, and Payne Haas is one of the best in as a prop right now in rugby league. So, but yeah, so I don't know. Maybe Laurie Daly has something against him.
He said those comments after when
he was on Twitch.
Rumors speculate that he wouldn't make it, so that's when he said it. For me, Spencer Leniu does in a way deserve to be. We need that energy coming off from the bench, and now Samuel was telling me a couple of hours ago about the Queensland Daily Telegraph or something. Some newspaper was saying that, "I'll get this dog," talking about Spencer Leniu, and Spencer Leniu is ready, which is good. You need players that are fired up and ready. But if I was to ask someone, I think it would have been Spencer Leniu, and I would have put May. But we can't change anything. Hopefully, he does get a game too.
It is what it is, because again, I think Terrell May's dealt with that. You know, he's apologised with his comments he made about chucking the Blues Origin in the bid. But people got to understand, at times we're humans, and you know, he's in the comfort of his home, and you know, he in a way he does still have to act professional. But sometimes we say things that we're not supposed to say, and he made up for that. He owned up to it, and you know, he goes that I do probably have to improve on my game to make sure I get there in Origin. And you know, fair enough. And again, as both parties have, you know, made an agreement, and then we just see what happens with
What
Terrell
about
May.
Dylan Edwards? Is that the right call to put him at fullback and just not put Pappenhausen in or Tedesco?
I've said putting
You
Edwards
and
is
Sammy did
better.
say Edwards, yeah.
I said I have said putting Edwards is better in the team over Pappenhausen, and I feel like it's a great pick. Yeah, with him in the Penrith players again.
Yeah.
I feel like it can only be good for the team.
Well, to be honest, like he performed last year very well in the
He
Origin
was the
3.
best fullback too. in the
And he played very consistent, and he played like very comfortable in his position. He did so many things, like with attack, with defense. He helped the team out, communication. He does he deserves the position again. So I think he's going to play 10 times better this State of Origin series. So I can't wait for him to give it go all out. You know, like just give it a crack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think if Blues were to lose game 1, I think that's when possibly Pappenhausen or Tedesco will come. Or again, I can see them just keeping with the same team, remaining calm. But yeah, look, he deserves that. He was the best fullback last year. Yeah, he hasn't been the best this year, but again, it's due to the injuries and him not playing a lot of minutes. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm gonna back the boys, and let's get our predictions for the game and bold predictions. For me, I think Max King will score this week, tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think he will score, and I'm going to go New South Wales 18-16.
Okay.
I'm going to go New South Wales to win, and I'm going to go Queensland to not score a try in the first half.
I'm going to say New South Wales, 32-8.
As your bold?
Yeah. But I'm going to say Max King anytime try score.
Yeah, I'm going there as well.
Yeah.
Should put a bet on that.
Yeah, I think I might do.
I'm gonna go.
Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad.
I'm gonna go 14-12 Blues to win, and bold prediction. I don't know. Put me on the spot here.
Bill to get his multi-right.
Yeah, probably.
Spencer Leniu Simbin.
Maybe.
Bill got one last year,
Yeah,
right?
I think
Luai
he did,
Simbin.
yeah.
Or
I think
2
so,
years
Luai,
ago.
yeah.
That was
That
2
was
years
Origin.
ago.
And you know what? A few months ago, I actually said about Nathan Cleary to wipe out the New South Wales whitewash. Actually,
Did you?
yeah, I did.
When
I
last year or
predicted-
2 years ago? Wait, this year?
Yeah, when we do the NRL prediction, you know, I said about the Origin.
Oh, yeah, his bold prediction this
Yeah.
year, you're saying.
So I'm
Oh,
saying
like
about
Cleans,
Nathan
yeah,
Cleary,
So his prediction is Blues go whitewash.
whitewash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Clean
yeah.
sweep.
I didn't know that.
Clean sweep.
I'm just gonna say there's gonna be a sin bin in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Ooh, okay.
nice.
Who you reckon it'll be?
I don't know.
Something's telling me Payne Haas. I don't know why.
You
From
reckon?
from either side, yeah.
No, I know, but I'm just
It's
saying
gonna-
it out of my
it's
mouth.
gonna be
I'm
a
just saying
fight,
Payne
yeah.
Haas could be a sin bin.
Well-
It can't be Spencer Leniu, but
He'll be on the bench.
yeah, no, I know, but anything happens,
Yeah.
bro. Like
Well-
it can happen to any particular player, from
Yeah.
halfback to a forward player. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, again, it's Origin. We can't wait to all watch a game 1. Now let's move on to big news in Belmore. Galvin is set to sign with the Bulldogs and potentially play against the Parramatta Eels on the King's birthday clash, which again is a team he was probably going to join if it wasn't the Bulldogs. Where are your thoughts on this?
I don't think it's a good thing to sign Galvin. If something's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Bro, we're at the top of the table. Sexton has been playing great footy. He's been in our team for 2 years.
Yeah.
To snub him like that, I feel like it's a bit wrong. But I trust in Gus. I trust in Ciro. They're not going to choose Galvin if they don't think he has a future at the Dogs.
Yeah.
So we've been proven wrong before. We were the
Yeah,
ones
of course.
saying Sax Serraldo.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I have much credibility left, but but I feel like signing Galvin, I don't see how he can fit in the team, especially where he has shown he's been problematic for a club
With
like
his
the
manager
Tigers
too,
and
yeah.
with his manager and with reports of his dad, with rumors of his dad being in his ear a lot too. So like,
Yeah.
I feel like with Galvin coming in, he's a great player, but we have to start all over again. You think
Yeah,
he's just
well-
gonna come in, click, and then we're gonna play finals footy
we,
with him?
we don't want to go back to the same
Because
position. how we
Sexton
did,
knows our game. Sexton
Obviously,
has been a
yeah.
part of the culture, and I'm just worried with Galvin. Him coming into this squad with all these dramas surrounding him, and he's proven that he can cause drama. Him and his team. It's just I feel like we don't need that in our culture right now. We've found the secret recipe of a winning culture, and I don't know if Galvin can be a part of that. If he's going to adapt to that, I hope I'm eating my words, but we'll see how it goes. I'm just scared about what's going to happen with our
Yeah.
spine,
Yeah.
with our halves.
Exactly.
Where's Kruder going to go? Where's Burden going to go?
Yeah.
That's what I'm really scared
Yeah.
about,
And
to be honest.
that's what I agree about. Like my problem, first of all, I don't think we need Galvin. My problem is not the Galvin signing itself. I think it's what it's going to do to the team.
Yeah. What's going to affect?
What it's
Yeah.
going to do to the team, because already they're saying Burden, for example, fullback. We know Burden hasn't trained fullback for preseason. 100% he has not trained fullback because they've known their plan all along that he's going to play 6. Worst case, they probably would have trained him center. It depends if the injuries happen in the season. Firstly, for me, I actually feel Galvin is a bit overrated. I think people are overhyping him. He's only played 35 games, I think. And the fact that people say Galvin is way better than Sexton, I think that's completely disrespectful to Sexton. Galvin has a higher ceiling, 100%. Galvin will probably be better than Sexton. But at this moment in time, you can't say Galvin is a better player than Sexton. I don't think, personally for me, I think if we have Galvin and we have Sexton, I think both of them will do the same job. I think both of them have the capability of being in this team that might win the premiership.
Yeah.
And not solely on the fact of themselves. I think it's because of the system we have that's going to win us the premiership. So I think if we have Sexton or Galvin in there, I think it doesn't do much of a difference. As Bill said, we're first on the table. And I think people are getting overcarried because we haven't been playing the best these past few weeks.
Yeah.
And fair enough, we look at Melbourne, they haven't been the best. They're not chopping and changing.
Yeah.
And I think teams are going to have periods where they're just a bit off form. We just need to regather, reshape, and just get back into training.
Yeah.
And we can work on those things with Sexton. I think, yes, Galvin is good for us, but I don't think bringing him now is the right move. Because, again, we see all these players. Like, you're telling me that, for example, we look at the Josh Adokar incident. Yes, that's a completely different scenario, but I'm saying what it did to the players, all the news, all the media's probably at Belmore. It plays a toll on the player. Now, with Galvin coming in, all these players are not sure about their future. They're not sure where they're playing. It's going to just affect them, as well as Luai and Critter. They have a very close relationship.
Yeah.
Luai's going to probably tell Critter, watch Galvin. You can't trust him. He's got a bad attitude. If I was to tell, for example, you, Chabel, don't trust this person. Chabel's going to believe me because we're very close. We're brothers.
Yeah.
So I think that's the same situation where Luai's going to tell Crichton, be careful about this player, and it's just going to feed off every player. So again, this can go very wrong or very very good.
Yeah, like with the Galvin saying he's overrated. Yeah, I agree. Look, there's no doubt Galvin's going to be one of the best probably players, not in the game, but in the next 5 to 10 years. But right now, like when I first watched Luai as a kid, he really impressed me. Like the way he was just playing with freedom and that. And I've watched Galvin a few times, and yeah, I can see a good player, but with all honesty, when I watched Luai first bursted into scene, I saw more from Luai than what I'm seeing from Galvin. And the hype Luai was getting then was deserved. With Galvin, yes, I know everyone loves him and they're saying he's the next big thing. But for me right now, I haven't seen what he can do. Now, there's rumors saying that Burden could play 6, Sexton, if he's potentially leaving next year. Why should he finish the year with us? You might as well focus on the future and put Galvin 7. My only issue, if Galvin is playing 7, he's not that type that can control the game. He's still young. We've seen it that he's a type of player that he still makes mistakes. Sexton has a good short kicking game, and I feel that's what we need in a team when you're trying to control the game and trying to win the game. We saw last year Sexton struggled on that, and he didn't know how to control the game. But I feel this year he's really matured, he's really developed, and I can see him really knowing how to control the game with Burden. And for me, I don't again, this Galvin incident is gonna really play in the mind with certain players. What Samuel was saying, I honestly think if Burden's going to be shifted to center, he's not going to be happy. Yes, he's going to be put team first. He's played center before. He's got Dally M there. But don't feel that he's come to a club like Bulldogs wanting to play number 6. I don't think he's come to play centre. And for him to be shifted to the centre, to be replaced by a 19-year-old, is going to affect his mindset massively. Like, imagine you signed with the club, you said you've been guaranteed to play number 6 for as long as you can at the Bulldogs, knowing that a 19-year-old is going to replace you and then you have to be shifted to the centre. Montoya might have to get dropped. Cherry has to go wing. It's going to cause so much issues behind the scene.
No, I agree.
They're going to be back-chatting behind people's back. It's going to stop everything.
Look, I agree with all your points. Like right now in this current situation, why would you go sign him straight away? And like he's still got a long time like to develop himself, you know. And what's going to happen, like if he does come in, that's going to affect every individual of the player. Like how you mentioned about Marcel Montoya, Matt Burton shifting maybe to centre or fullback, and then you might have to put Connor Tracy to wing. So if
he might get dropped too.
Yeah, and he might get dropped too. So if everything's all going to happen in this full circle and this situation with Galvin to put him in number 7, you can't write off Sexton, man. Sexton's been playing very good. Why would he like? Why did he leave Gold Coast Titans? Because Gus gave him that biggest opportunity. Because he wants to play his role, bro. He wants to play number 7 to help Burton, so they can help each other out. But with this type of situation with Galvin, man, I don't know.
Yeah, like,
I'm actually like confused, frustrated, like mix of emotions of everything. You know, like I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it's just frustrating.
Yeah, and on that point, like I've seen people are saying that with Sexton we can't beat the likes of Melbourne. Are people forgetting our 2023 side went to Amy Park and beat them? So the fact that people think Sexton can't take us to beat Melbourne is just beyond me. Like, that's the dumbest thing you could say when our 2023 song without Sexton, who we still had some players that weren't strong, beat a Melbourne team who at that time were premiership favourites.
Yeah.
So you can't say Sexton, you know, with Sexton we're not going to win a premiership. I've said with Sexton I think we can win a premiership. Not saying that he's going to be the main man to do it, but I think with the system we have, that's what's going to help him to grow.
Can I ask you one thing? Like, if look, I understand if Galvin's coming in, but would you rather put him later, like next year, to come in for Leo Thompson?
That would have been the better.
That's what I told you
option,
before today. I was saying if Galvin came to the club next year, okay, I understand. You got a forward that's coming in, and then you got the number 7 coming in. Because with Sexton, if he was gonna shop around or go somewhere else, probably by next year, okay, I understand. But now during the season, man, like we've been winning so many games. All right, we've only lost 2 games. Not a big deal. But why now? But that's the big problem. That's the biggest question mark. Why now?
You're just a number. Like, they don't care. Like, what really now annoys me, like, Connor Tracy has finally found his position. He's been playing so good. So consistent. As well. Yeah. Sexton has finally find a club that he loves. He's playing his football. And just one player like that is going to stuff everything up. Connor Tracy may be dropped. You know, if Montoya just... These little things you think... Like, again, yes, we trust in Gus. We know that he's possibly said something to Galvin that you need to put team first. But... you can say it like that, but deep inside, these players aren't going to be happy that Montoya, he came to play for the club he played as a junior. And imagine now he has to be on the bench and play New South Wales Cup.
We're playing great footy now. I don't understand why. Like, you would want to mess that up. Yeah. Especially now with, like, Reid Mahoney getting shopped too.
Yeah. But I'm saying, but why now? Like, Galvin has to come in during the season.
And especially he's, like, very inexperienced, 19 years old.
Exactly.
How are you gonna win a comp with... If you're saying we can't win a comp with Toby Sexton, what makes you think we're going to win a comp with Lachlan Galvin?
I'm not writing off anyone, but I'm just saying, but why now? Like, it's not like, how can I explain it? Like, it's so confusing. Like, I think every fan, there's some fans are saying, oh, it's good for him to come. But for me, bro, I don't think he should be coming at the right time.
How about Mahoney? What do you think of Mahoney getting shopped?
Look, I don't know. This was at the start of the year. There was, so what I was seeing, Gus, he was saying that Reid Mahoney and his team and manager came up to them then. They wanted to explore options for a new club, I think after 2027. So, yeah, look, it was happening. Look, Mahoney, he hasn't been the best for the Dogs. I think he's been a solid 7. He hasn't been exceptional. He hasn't been bad.
Who, Mahoney?
Reid Mahoney.
Why did you say 7? You were saying number 9. He's a hooker.
Did I say 7?
Yes.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, rating, I give him a 7 for his season at the Dogs. But Mahoney, look, I think Hayward is the future for the Bulldogs. I think he deserves to be that number 9. Reid Mahoney, like I said, he hasn't been bad. He hasn't been that good. It makes sense for him to leave, but yeah, it's mixed emotions right now. Like, I just don't know what to feel about these signings.
The problem, like, again, Mahoney, he's been a very good servant for our club, and I think Gus has confirmed that he's going to leave 2027. So we're still going to have him for 2024 to 2026 next year,
yeah.
and then he'll leave.
Yeah.
But again, this has all come to one player trying to fit Galvin in our squad. And as Bill said about his how we saying that this 19-year-old is going to win us the premiership.
Yeah.
If we're getting Daly Cherry Evans mid-season, 100% bring him in, because then you're 98% you're going to win a premiership. Because his experience. But what tells you a 19-year-old who has so many mistakes in him, against the Rabbitohs, he had a terrible game. Not saying, of course, a young star's going to have their bad games, but you can't say that bringing Galvin in is going to win us a premiership. I'm saying it's a system that's going to win us a premiership. So I think bringing Galvin in now, for the long run, yes, but right now, where we are on the table, God,
it's not a good timing. Not good timing at all.
Galvin is not the one. Yes, he's not going to be the one and the reason why we win the comp. Look at 2018. That's when first Lawai bursted into the scene.
Yeah.
It took him 2 years to make a grand final, and yet that wasn't enough to win a premiership. So for people to say, oh, Galvin's the answer, he's going to make us win the premiership, if he does, I'm cheering and I'm happy. But if it was Cherry Evans coming in, 110% you're going to say we're going to win the premiership with him. But to say Galvin, a 19-year-old, is going to win us the comp, where he hasn't proven that much, that's ridiculous, man.
But
That's ridiculous.
it's just weird. Like, I'm going to keep repeating myself.
But what does that say for Mitch Woods?
Huh?
Again,
Because wasn't he the next big gun?
He was the next big gun, and then I'm hearing Mitch Woods.
Oh, Mitch Woods, yeah.
And then I'm hearing people saying like, oh, you don't even know Mitch Woods is going to be that good. But
how do you know?
There's a lot of people talk like that. That's just...
I've been everyone's saying Mitch Woods is the future of the club. Now with Galvin coming in, that's stuffing up his potential.
Yeah.
But if anything, that's 100% confirming Burden's not going to be a 6 or 7. Because if you're planning to have Galvin and Mitch Woods in that halves, that means Burden's not going to be in that situation. So again, I think, look, let's wait till Parramatta.
Think about wait for the team list to come out to see if Galvin's going to be lined up or not. Yeah, that's what's going to worry me the most.
I think let's wait for the result against Eels. If we lose against Eels, hell's going to break loose.
Yeah, then we're
going to all be stressing out. The players mentally before heading to the game is going to be stuffed up. But if we win, it settles all the pressure down.
Yeah,
it calms down the bow, and everyone can stay focused. We've got that win, and we can just push forward. But I'm so scared if we lose that game against Para with Galvin in and these positions, it's gonna.
It just really shows you wherever Lachlan Galvin is in talks of going to, he always brings drama with him.
That's a big question mark.
Let's talk about quickly if Burden moves to fullback. You know how it's going to take time for him to learn how to play fullback because he's never played it.
Yeah, I don't think
he shouldn't. Critters played fullback a few times last year. It didn't work out. Like I didn't see the impact.
I remember 2 years ago. Remember with Trent Barrett when
who Crichton?
No, Burden.
No, I'm saying Stephen Crichton.
Stephen Crichton. Yeah, I'm saying
I just don't feel. Again, these positional switch are not going to work, and
Look, I'm actually look, I agree with what everyone's saying, but I'm just scared like what's going to happen next week when they announce the team list and then who's going to be in this position, who's going to be in that position. I don't want anything to change. I want to keep it the way it is.
Yeah, look, we have our concerns, but again, we trust Ciro and Gus in what they're doing.
Yeah,
and
just pray to God that they just keep them the same.
Before we wrap it up, I think it's out of their hands to deal with what will happen.
Yeah.
Like they can't control what the players are feeling. They can't tell them, okay, don't worry, we've got you, because already they're shopping them off. So I believe it comes on the players now to be professionals and let this to take it on the chin. Whether you're Sexton or Mahoney, take on the chin. You have a great chance to win a premiership this year with how we're going. Take on the chin, go and grab that premiership with or without Galvin, and then they explore their futures next year. But I think it's up to the players now whether this works or not.
Because they can't let one player just ruin what they've been building this year. They need to be strong, like Sammy said, and just hopefully get that premiership this year.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, on that note, that's a wrap up for another episode of the Touchline Podcast. Guys, if you're new here, hit the like button, hit subscribe, comment down below, and all that stuff. We'll catch you guys in the next episode.